Hey guys, unfairadvantagefilms here, and I'm bringing you Shogun 2 Total War. As you can see, this is one of my most recent battles that I have fought. This is actually the first one that I have fought. But I'm going to be bringing you guys Shogun 2 Total War battles on a regular basis. Once again, this is the first one that I had recorded, and I'll just give you a bit of a background. Shogun 2, I was terrible at. I've been playing Total War games for, forever since, the original Shogun. But Total War games I've always just been kind of good at, but it's just Shogun 2 I sucked. Napoleon I was pretty good, but Shogun 2 I sucked. I was just terrible to the point where I just didn't want to play anymore. But then they released this one, and it's completely different because it's a lot like Napoleon Total War with Shogun elements. So you will be bringing out, melee troops that will be very important in your attacks. Now this was my original strategy that I didn't really know much of. This is on small funds. Let's give a bit of a background into the Japanese history at the time. Pretty much the Western powers had come into Japan, and under Tokugawa Ieyasu, he was the shogun in the Sengoku Jidai at the end of that period, and ended up taking over and closing the borders, and they remit to all foreign powers, or all powers really, for 200 years. And after 200 years, American warships arrived and reopened up the harbors of Japan by force and started trade again. And the new shogun had embraced this new trade. It hadn't happened for 200 years, so why not? What could possibly go wrong? A lot, actually. It really did not go well for them. So pretty much two factions had arisen. Japan was very odd at the time because it really wasn't like anything else, but it did have a head of state and a head of government. Now the head of state was the emperor, while the head of government was the shogun. Now the head of government, or the head of state, which was the emperor, really was a lot like today's English monarchy. Like, it is really similar to a constitutional monarchy in the sense that you don't have any real power. So the Imperials backed the emperor because they wanted to get rid of the new Westerners. So the Imperials are backed by the Imperial clans, while the Shogunate is backed by the Shogunate clans, and the Imperials are trying to get rid of the Western powers. That's pretty much the background for it, but this is a battle that I have recorded of the new Total War, so let's check it out. My troops right now are the Infanterie de Marine, as they say. Yeah, French Marines pretty much. I have a unit of Black Bears. I have 2 units of Black Bears. I have a unit of White Bears, and another unit of White Bears. So that's 2 White Bears, 2 Black Bears, French Marine, 2 Blades, so 2 Katana Cav, or sorry, 2 Katana Infantry, Katana Kachi, and a unit of Spear Levy, along with my cavalry component of 1 veteran Lancers, and another unit, or Yariki. Now my opponent has brought 2 White Tiger forces. Looks like 1. Holy crap, I brought a lot of line. So 2 units of Red Bear, and it looks like 5 units of White Bear infantry. So it seems like my opponent has gone relatively cav light. Now there are advantages to this, being that you can present a massive line to the enemy, but the disadvantage obviously is the lack of mobility that you won't have, which some people seem to think that you can make up with clever troop positioning. But really, the mobility is what will get you places in battles, unless you're stupid. Because if you're not very good at the game, or you're new and you don't know how to use the mobility to your advantage, I'm pretty sure that's what he's banking on at this point. I am advancing right now, and my general strategy is just kind of use my infantry as a bulwark to engage their infantry, because I know I will not win. He's got too many guys on me. I just will not win slugging match between these guys. But what I do have on him is my melee infantry. All he has is a unit of Spear Levy, which really will do absolutely nothing against Katana Kachi. These guys are freaking powerful. I know I've gone Imperial, so I'm more modernized, because the Shogunate believed in the old, the Bushido way and stuff. But really, I like to bring the Katana Kachi. It's a little counterintuitive, but they really are great because you get them into any contact with essentially any ranged unit, like any line unit, and they will absolutely murk it. Like, it won't even be competitive. It'll just be sad. So right now my opponent is trying to capture this farmhouse which is kind of useless. I think it's the most useless building out there because all it does is really increase the stamina and speed, which is relatively useless in my opinion. However, I've had this argument with friends that play Total War game on speed, and I have a friend of mine who goes completely, speed heavy, which is to me insane because I'd much rather rank up my vets and things like reload and accuracy. But he goes very heavy in speed, and it's funny watching his cavalry completely do circles around other cavalry and come in and smash his general. Now, my opponent has captured the farmhouse, and currently is trying to just kind of hold this hill, it looks like. But I am not stupid. I'm not just going to run uphill, shoot him, and then get shot, because once again, I already know that in a line engagement, I will not be able to win against him. Now, for whatever reason, I saved this replay as tipping the scales, and I don't quite remember what happens, so it'll be a surprise to both of us. Oh, on the left flank, it looks like this unit of White Tiger force is already shaken. The White Tigers are garbage. They're militia. Like, look at their stats. You got 15 reload and accuracy versus my Marines, say, that have 90 reload skill and 75 accuracy. I've gone very reload heavy on all of my veteran troops, just because I figured that being able to pump out a bunch of rounds is a lot better than being able to pump out a few that will always hit. It's less about the effect and more about the morale effect, because you can scare away units like these white tigers more with damaging their morale than you could with actually physical damage to their troop numbers. And I've heard rumors from other commentators that there are problems with replays, that they aren't 100% accurate, but I am recording apparently after a patch had been released to fix that, so hopefully it has been. Right now I'm positioning my troops to kind of fire on his red bears right here. He's hiding them behind this building, and my men just won't shoot at them because they are behind cover. Like, if you look, these guys can't see my men at all. Completely over there. I apologize for any slow frame rate. I am getting a new graphics card tomorrow, which is also another big reason why recording wasn't really on my mind. Now let's skip ahead a little bit here until something a little eventful happens. Keep a bit of an overview. Okay, it seems like the only thing that's really happening is over on the right flank here. Okay, so I'm trying to get my men to position, and what I figure, these guys here, I'm zooming in game whenever I was playing this, going, well, they could hit those guys no problem, but unfortunately it does have to be like a majority. I'm pretty sure where the standard bearer is, which is that guy, has to be in view of the enemy, so at least half of them have to be able to fire, so I'm just trying to reposition my men to do something. Now, my opponent, astonishingly, is doing nothing. He's just kind of standing there. Finally, he starts to move some troops off of his left flank, my right, but the thing is that he has so many troops that he can just dispatch to fight against things like gaining position on my flank to be able to deliver devastating flanking fire on me, but he isn't. He really just is not doing that right now. He seemed to think that these white tigers were clever. What would have been clever is if he hid them in the woods and then started engaging me on the right flank and hoping that I may have forgotten about them, advanced my infantry and ambushed this unit of French Marines and then ran away. Because you figure these French Marines are freaking expensive. They're like 1600 koku just for one unit of these guys, but rightfully so. They got 110 reload skill and like 11 morale. Regardless, you could ambush them with 1,000 koku worth of white tigers, so that's 300 rounds being delivered downrange potentially. Maybe only the front rank fires, so maybe minus 50 if he's got them stretched out. Regardless, 200 rounds coming in at these guys. Don't have to be aimed very well. You could take out 75 guys one volley, probably maybe 50, 75 guys. That wouldn't be too bad. Over here on my right flank, I am moving up my white bears, which I have dutifully named the polar bears. And his red bears are still doing nothing, so I'm trying to think in the head of my opponent right now, going, is he laying a trap for me or what's happening? Because what I figured is that he was trying to move up my troops, that he could advance his line, but he seems to be dead set on camping out this hill. And really the only reason why he actually went for the shrine was so that the timer didn't start, but regardless, the timer's 10 minutes, which I didn't know at the time. Okay, so breaking news, he did have a unit of Yariki, and they had been hidden the majority of the game, and they just whacked my unit of French Marines, or so he thinks. Because he did charge the right flank of my Marines, they really didn't get that great of a charge in. They've only killed 20 guys and they're Lancers. So that's going to be the biggest problem, because my Marines are damn good at melee. They got their soldiers drawn. I've also got units nearby to support, and watch his Katana Kachi come charging in. They're fantastic. They're coming in just from rape these guys. And then once he's done, they don't know what to throw. So that's when I've upgraded the charge bonus all the way, so that, well, not all the way, but as much as I could, so that whenever they do charge in, they're just going to be like no dodge and just start slashing guys down. And then after that, they'll deliver sustained melee capability skills that they already have. This whole time that this is happening, really what I like to do is divert my opponent's attention in one part of the map that will be very micro heavy on his part, and then advance my main line. Because he's worried about this little stupid battle that really doesn't mean much on the side, he will miss the bigger picture because he's trying to micro those troops. Now I still have my cavalry hidden in these woods, and he hasn't seen them yet. They deployed back here and they've just walked all the way up. And I think, yeah, see, I'm still just walking them up and he doesn't see them. So eventually what I'm hoping I'll be able to do is be able to whack his right flank, keep them completely engaged, and then be able to move up my center, because by this point I've got a better line than him. I've destroyed his 2 units on the left, my French Marines and Katana Kachi. On the right, hopefully my cavalry will be able to take him out, which because he has lost his mobility, he has no counter against my cavalry, minus these spear levies. But the thing is, I could also take my cavalry and then right up the middle, put them in this formation, or in a small formation backed up by, I don't know, my spear levy, charge them and take all the shots, throw my cav directly in the middle of his line. Then what's he gotta do? Then he's either got to turn to face my cav with these units here, or he's got to be able to hold against my line. So then he's really screwed. But that's unlikely that would work. So instead, I'm gonna take out his right flank here, and then send these white bears to support, and just let happen what happens. Because hopefully, I should be able to destroy his white bears with my cavalry, along with infantry support. So what I'm doing here is very risky, but I'm going to move my polar bears in as a meat shield. I want them to be bullet magnets that they will take, 3 or 4 volleys. So yeah, they're going to be taking at least 3, maybe some melee fire for a 4th. Now, as long as they're expending their ammo on these infantry at extreme range, that's fine. I'd much rather than be shooting at them than the impending doom that's about to be brought upon these guys. So I'm trying to get this one to fire, because this is the most dangerous to me, because they can reposition immediately and then really start delivering the damage. So this unit really is expendable to me, because its death will mean a couple kills on these guys, that's for sure. But not only that, it will mean that they're completely out. Here I move in my cav for the knockout punch here. I'm trying to get rid of these red bears at this point. I'm just going to whack them, because they do have link wrapping around, and he runs in the way of the door. And he does manage to engage, but not full heart, he doesn't get a full volley on it. He is firing for sure. Okay, there we go. My lancers have taken a bunch of hits. All I need is this unit. This one unit of Yaraki to come in, and then watch the charge enemy attack from the back. Each lancer gets in down. He's dead. He's dead. Not only that, swamping them after, from behind and the side, yeah, that'll get them going. So now, he's starting to go, oh shit, and start running back up the hill to reposition to be able to fire upon my troops. What he didn't count on is that my men were doing fine. Then my men will come back up. The ones who didn't manage to kill it on the fire. He's moving his spear levy up to go support them. Perfect time for me. I can start wrapping up his left flank with my Marines. I can start moving up my line itself. Right now I'm just repositioning it to make sure that it's covering the whole line, because he does have more troops than me, but he has the same amount of muskets presented as me, if I can stretch out my troops at the appropriate length. Now, what I do have on him, once again, are my spear troops and my katana troops. So what I could do is run my spear troops in this formation and my katana troops in this formation. When the spears out first, run the katanas out behind them, and just use the spear levy as a meat shield. If they do manage to get there, great. We'll get a couple kills. As you can see, I have sent my badly wounded unit, and he has fallen for the trap. He sent his spear levies in and repositioned to shoot at them, completely ignoring the full health unit of Yaraki that have just come in and just smashed him. I've completely rolled his right flank at this point.
Your men are routing, sir!
One unit of infantry. Like with 2 units of Yari and 1 unit of infantry, I've managed to take out his red bears, 2 units of white bears, and almost a spear levy. And the spear levy will be shot at now, but unfortunately I haven't repositioned these guys because I am more busy. The slugging match is there to see. He's moved his units forward. I believe he was trying to support his right flank, but once again, he's thinking his general will be able to shoot at my guys before we get there. Wrong. there goes his men flying 50 feet. they're gone. So I've managed to crash into the back of his line here. This unit is now completely unable to fire, or to back up their own troops in the way. This unit on the right is routing, and he has nothing out here. Katana catch here. Perfectly placed, my Imperial Blades perfectly placed to go for a run up the right flank. Now, because we're not taking fire, my troops are getting supporting fire. This is a perfect time to run them up the right flank and start engaging his troops here. On the left flank, my French Marines
your general is under attack!
And I've been constantly micromanaging them, not just to lose my Marines because they're really expensive, but one unit, along with a unit of katanas, because people know the threat they pose, has completely, like I've taken the two most expensive units in the army, and I've wrapped up his entire left flank with just 2 units, and that's just awesome. So what I'm doing here is trying to run my katanas a bit of a suicide charge after his general. I wasn't expecting him to come running towards me, but I see that that's not going to work. He's just going to run away. So I'm going to take my units and once again move in for it. He's taken a unit of Yariki, which he also had hidden the entire time, which to me makes no sense at all. He should have used them to counter against my cavalry charge and maybe held his left flank, and then he could have actually positioned his troops around me because he did have the original infantry advantage. And on the left flank, my katanas ended up catching his white tigers, and now it's just these guys don't stand a chance. His own men are shooting his men in the back. Like it's a solid turn, bro. The main line battle is going very much in my favor. I pretty much routed him, but he does have this little bastion and he seems to set up. But once again, my Imperial Blades managed to get in and start mopping up. Once we can engage these guys in combat, it doesn't matter if they have guns. Really, it doesn't. Like, no, we'll shoot them point blank. So what? One guy dies. I gotta really move through. Like, this guy's gonna be this individual person here. Okay, he died. This person here is gonna be slashing up 6 people before they have a chance to fire, which is important. I also have these spear levies just kind of in reserve, and seeing as all this cavalry has been discharged, I really have no reason to hang on to it anymore. So I'm just gonna start moving towards his line. So let's take to kind of defend my left flank of the back bears because they're getting pretty good too.
Victory is assured, sir!
That's pretty much it. His men right there have been wiped. And on the right side, I've moved back up. But from the beginning, it looked like I was screwed. Did you see how much infantry he had? He had an entire... He had like, I think, 8 units of infantry versus my 4 or 5. The thing is, the key to this battle is really bringing those melee troops, which can be so devastating and effective. Because if we can get them into close proximity, they will destroy your enemy like they were no problem at all. I believe there should be a statistics screen where we can check out some of the stats of how many kills my men got. You could just kind of see how devastating the katanas can be. And don't forget, they didn't even get into full combat. I mean, like if you had a double line on a hill of troops, what's happening? Shogun crashed. Okay, guys. Unfortunately, at this point, Shogun did crash, so I'm just doing a bit of an overlay right now. This is unfairadvantagefilms signing off. Hopefully I'll be able to bring you the statistics later, but don't forget to subscribe. I will be bringing you more of these. Thanks, guys.